Welcome to the brand new episode, the Rimm-Podcast, episode 53. I'm your host, Iggy. Today, I know you send the kids to the school. It's around the next week. We have again schools starting again. Today, we really got a special guest. I like the guest introduce himself, running for Seminole County School Board. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Monte. I am running for Seminole County School Board District 2. The election's coming up on August 23rd. The vote by mails have already gone out. Early voting starts very soon. And it's a countywide race, and it's a nonpartisan race. So if you're a registered voter in Seminole County, the school board races all the three school board races, District 1, District 2, and District 5, will be on your ballot. I'm District 2.
Okay, so can people on outside of district vote for you or not?
Yes, it's countywide. So
Okay.
no matter as long as you're a registered voter in Seminole County, you will get all three district races on your ballot.
Okay, and you said about the early voting is, I believe, is August 8th starting.
Early voting starts, I think, this coming Sunday or very
Which
soon.
is August 8th, I believe. August 8th?
Yeah, I think the whole state has early
Yes.
voting during that time.
Okay,
yeah.
and then the primary is on 23rd.
On the 23rd. Well, in our race, it's not really considered a primary.
Okay.
Because the unique thing about the nonpartisan races is that if one candidate gets 50% plus one vote, so a majority, the race is over, and that's the winner. If no candidate gets above that threshold, that 50% plus one threshold, then the top two vote getters go on a runoff in November at the general election.
Okay, that's a
So
good...
it's not a real primary. Primary is
okay.
really for partisans. And what big confusion is that people who are no party affiliates, NPA voters, they don't think they have a lot to vote for, but they do get to vote for school board and judges and ballot initiatives. And in this race, there are school board races and judge races that they can vote for
okay.
on their ballot.
Perfect.
Excuse me.
Question.
Yes.
Why you are even considering running for the board of the school?
Well, I'm a parent. I became a stay-at-home parent in the beginning of 2017. I gave up my long business career, about 25 years. I was educated as an engineer, and I've been working for a technology company in the manufacturing space for over 15 years. And my time there was coming to a close, and I decided to, my wife has a very successful career. We actually moved to Florida in 2015 because she got an excellent job offer. We moved from up north. I was born and raised in New York City, and I lived in New Jersey also, and we came down here, and the job offer was so lucrative that we talked about, hey, maybe we need someone to take care of the kids, because we wanted someone to be home to take care of the kids, and we had the luxury of giving up one of our salaries to do that. So I became a stay-at-home parent, and so I do the food shopping. I take care of the house. My wife helps with certain things, but in general, I do a good portion of it, and I take care of the kids. And I'm taking the kids to school every day, picking them up, taking them to their activities, whatever it may be. So the reason why I'm running is that I pay attention to the schools, and I watched it when I was up in New Jersey, where I was very concerned. My oldest daughter was about to start kindergarten. They were doing some things I thought were inappropriate in the younger grades, and regarding gender and certain things I felt were a little too young, because I thought it was kind of sexualizing them, and things that I really didn't think that should be discussed in this classroom. Now, if I wanted to bring it up in my own house, that's my choice as a parent to do that. If because I have friends who are LGBTQ, and they come to the house, and and I just treat them as people, and I think my daughter finally asked the question, like, are they married? I'm like, yeah, they're married. Like, they're like, oh, okay, and I don't go into a big deal about it, because that's how I want to raise my kids. I want people to treat people in the LGBT community as people, but I don't think I need to go overboard in diving deep into each of the different shades of the gender space. And I just feel that kindergarten, first grade doesn't really need that. We teach our children at home to be kind to everyone. If they're not kind to you back, and then we have a discussion on how to deal with that. But in general, we try to be kind to everyone, no matter what race, ethnicity, religion, whatever it may be. And so that's the kind of parent I want to be for my children. And I respect the rights of other parents to raise their children the way they want to run. And so when I saw this happening in New Jersey, where I felt like it was coming from the state, because public schools are a government entity, and they're trying to teach my kids this, I was like, I think this is a little too early. I want to wait a little while longer, maybe a few years, and the problem with gender ideologies, it's very based on, there's a sexual content to it, and I think that's a very sensitive conversation. I wouldn't even want my kids to talk about heterosexual sexual issues, much less homosexual sexual issues as well. So I should decide that, not the school system, and I should be. And if they are, I should know about it, so I know what's the scope of what they're talking about, so I can just be prepared to discuss it with my children. So that was happening in New Jersey, and when we got this job offer, my wife got this job offer, and we moved down here. I was very pleased that I avoided that, and I came to Seminole County because of the excellent public schools, and I felt that the school system here was a balanced school system. It was neutral. I said it wasn't ultra conservative, wasn't ultra liberal. It was kind of right down the middle, the kind of school system that I remember when I grew up in New York City. I went to New York City public schools, which back then was probably considered a very liberal education, but it was a very open education in the sense that we learned about different races, different cultures, about all the parts of history, good and bad. And I went to school with many different religions and nationalities, and I felt that Seminole County Schools was a real balanced place, and they had a good school rating, and I was very happy the first 3 years. 2018, after the Parkland shooting, things started changing. I saw some of the things happening that were happening up north, especially when it came to teachers encouraging kids to leave school to protest, and I believe in Americans' right to protest. But to me, it's something you do after school hours. During school, you learn, you have your academic subjects, and you learn your academics. You want to go protest, that is your absolute right, but that's done after school. And that's why I'm very firm on that. And I don't think, and SCPS does have a political activity policy, and I don't think the current board was enforcing it. And things started degrading from there, and I got really concerned. Therefore, and then it culminated in the next thing that got me was that when the school superintendent retired and we're looking for a new one, I wanted someone who was going to continue that balanced, neutral system, and I felt that the school superintendent process got corrupted in some way, and they violated some sunshine laws, and it just really embarrassed the county, and I just felt it was very that was something that was a bridge too far, and this is why too long time and well-respected school members are not running again, because I think they know they made an error. So I saw it's an opportunity to bring my values as a father, bring my and I am in a ethnic and multi-religious household. My wife is a Hindu and she's Guyanese. She came here as a first-generation immigrant. She came here when she was 5 years old. So our children are mixed race. So I believe in the inclusive idea of accepting all people, but I don't necessarily believe in the idea that we should divide people. I think we should bring people together and accept everyone and learn about different cultures. So this opportunity, when Ms. Almond said that she was I heard rumors that she may not run again, I felt it was time for me to jump in as a father and as someone who wanted to bring that neutrality back to Seminole County Public Schools. Perfect. And to teach and to make sure we teach our children to be critical thinkers, to be successful in life, so they can take care of themselves and their families and have rewarding careers and lifestyles and all those things that make America and make Seminole County great.
Make us proud.
Yes, make it proud, exactly.
Yeah. I get it, there's 4 people in the race.
Yeah, in my race there are 4 people.
4 people. So can you tell it to our fans, anybody who's going to watch this video, what is one particular thing that you are different than anybody else in this race? And what particular issue you will bring to the board and resolve when you join the board and you get elected?
Well, as I said before, I have 25 years business experience. Okay. And people may not know this, but the Seminole County Public Schools is the largest employer in the county. Okay. It has the largest budget in the county of any public entity. It's even larger than the county budget. And the one thing that is really important to me is making sure we are not only spending our taxpayer dollars wisely, but also that we're not wasting money. We're not spending money on processes and systems that may have worked great 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even 10 years ago, but maybe now we're not doing that as well. I mean, I became a substitute teacher, and the onboarding process was really cumbersome and difficult, and some of the forms were not really current to what the current society asks for. Like home phone number is still first on the list. I'm like, well, not many people have home numbers anymore. Yeah, maybe sell, and the form said, please return in person or by mail. Oh, and wow. I actually went and dropped it off at the things. And why are you doing this? You should upload it on PeopleSoft. I'm like, it doesn't say that on the form. It's like, what do you want me to do? I mean, unless you have a warehouse full of these forms, I can't imagine the holding cost of those is so great that you can't update the form to what your current standards and practices are. So it's little things like that I'm sure there's little things like that not taken care of. The big things, it's kind of like the broken windows policy of, take care of the small things and the bigger things get taken
bigger
care of.
And bigger.
And that's what I bring. Compared to my other candidates, they're all fine people. They each bring different things. all I can say is that, one of the big things is that with today's economic hardship, with the inflation rate through the roof, we're now in a recession. The one thing I saw up north was that they raise taxes because everyone says, oh, it's for the children, and they use that as a way to get people to agree to tax increases. And I watched up in New Jersey where a modest middle-class home, like 1,500 square feet, like a quarter of an acre, the property tax was like $3,000-$4,000. Wow. 10, 12 years later, it was 3 times as much. It was in the 5 figures. And it's like, what was it going for? Well, it was going for the lucrative pensions and health care and benefits, and not just like basic health care. And that's one thing I even noticed about the current SPS healthcare plan. It's really not that great. And there's definitely some improvement in Seminole County schools in pay and benefits, but what we have to watch out for is having it go too far, and all of a sudden it just keeps on snowballing. And then all of a sudden we'll find tenants, hey, why are property taxes pushing 5 figures? I'm like, because no one said, hey, let's try to get the waste out of the system and make our tax dollars work more efficiently. I'm not going to raise taxes. And some of my other opponents, some of them have said they want to raise the budget, which means raising taxes. Nice. And also some of them are very soft on discipline. I believe that the discipline policy in our schools is not very transparent. It's not very uniform. And it's very arbitrary because some kids who do something in one school will not get punished, and some kids in other schools will. And the parents don't know where they stand. Kids don't know where they stand. It creates chaos in the classroom. It doesn't support the teachers because the teachers have to control their classroom, and if the administration is not giving them a clear discipline policy, I know one of my candidates openly stated that they don't believe in suspension or expulsion for any reason. For any reason. Really, there's no reason why you'd want to remove a student from the school. What if they're sexually assaulting kids in the bathroom? Do you think that's something that should require an expulsion? Listen, I want to help the kids who are having problems. I think they should get the support they needed. We have plenty of social services in the county, both in the school system and outside the school system in the county, that can help these kids who are having these issues. But if they're assaulting fellow students, if they're assaulting teachers, if they're causing chaos in the classroom, the kids can't learn. The teachers can't effectively teach. This is so straightforward for me, but some people think that they're being benevolent to these people by being nice to them. It's like, no, kids require structure. They require structure, and they need a defined structure, and they will thrive in that structure if you make it flexible enough to work with all the differentiality in our electorate, in our student population. That's right. Yeah. So that's kind of what I bring to the table. It's just some common sense.
Yes. There you go every day, each and every day.
I'm a businessman. I'm practical. I'm a father. I see what goes on in the schools. I care about this. I got 2 young children. One's going to 4th grade. One's going to 7th grade. They're going to be in the schools for a long time. I mean, besides my own children, I have a vested interest to make the schools great because I hate seeing these kids coming out of school. They can't read and write. They can't find a good job. They take on these terrible student loans because college promised them to give them a great start in life, but then they take these terrible degrees that cost a lot of money and they can't afford to pay them back, and they're stuck in this mire of debt, and then they look for the government to help. And if they actually made smarter decisions, financial literacy is something I really want to push. I want these kids to understand when they sign on dotted line what that means, what compound interest means, and what is the investment you're going to put in. I'd much rather kids, if college is not right for them, be in trade schools or even entrepreneurship. Let them know how to start a business, make a business, understand the process of starting a business. I think that's something which is the key to success. And I know there's a lot of people come to this country who are new Americans, and they make their way in America by being their own boss.
Perfect. So our last question, I know we are next week is starting the school.
Yes.
So everything is getting nuts.
Yes.
Moms are getting all over the place. We're getting the tax free for buying the school stuff. So I know you are focusing on getting elected. If you can look it up in the 30, 40 seconds, 60 seconds, look it up in the camera and say, moms, single moms, parents, anybody who is living in Seminole County, why they should vote for you. And if you would do so, please look it up in camera and tell them and, convince them.
Well, I believe I'm a parent advocate for Seminole County parents. One thing I've learned observing school board meetings, going to school board meetings, speaking at school board meetings, is that even though I value and respect the staff and administration, and especially the teachers, and not only that, but the support staff, the bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, the custodians, the people you don't see every day. They're the ones who keep the schools clean, get our kids safely to school, the precious cargo they carry in their buses, and they feed our children, especially children who don't have necessarily access to high nutrition meals. I support them in doing their jobs because I believe they're good people trying to do their best. And what I've seen a lot from the higher up administration is that a certain arrogance that they know best. And parents know their children best. And I believe that no matter what you believe in ideologically, politically, or religiously, or ethnically, or whatever culture you subscribe to, you as a parent have a right to raise your children any way you want, and no one in the school system should be telling you how to do it. We're here to support you. We as the taxpayers pay into the school system, provide this public education to our residents of Seminole County, and I believe that we have a more balanced view on the school board to represent those voters and those taxpayers. And I'm going to make sure that we have a more balanced school system, more neutral school system, and give the power to the teachers to teach effectively, to control the discipline, and to make sure that the kids who go to schools actually can respect each differentiation of all of the students of whatever ethnic background, ideology, or sexual orientation, or what it may be. That is how you learn, that you learn to accept. And I learned that myself being in New York State public school system. I was surrounded by an international flavor of people. And I think that's something that is wonderful in this county, and it's growing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful country. And I will bring back that idea that America is the greatest place in the world to come to not only live, to thrive, to succeed, but also to be successful. And even if you've been here for centuries or decades, you still have every generation has a chance to remake what either past failures or past injustices that have happened. You have the ability to make yourself great in America, and that's why I still believe in this country, and I believe in making that education system open to everyone so that they can have their children next year succeed in the future and become good citizens. And that only helps the county, it helps the state, and it helps
everybody.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Helps everybody.
So I want to recap again. So you're running again for what?
I'm running for Seminole County School Board District 2, countywide race. Election day is August 23rd. I really ask for your vote. I would like you to come visit me on my website, Eric Monte, that's ERICMONTE, FOR schoolboard.com. And also you can visit me on Facebook at facebook.com/vote Eric Monte.
Perfect. So guys, you heard everything. We gave you all the information. All you got to now listen up the video, go to poll, cast your votes. I'm your special host, Tiggy. This is our episode 53. Eric, thank you again. I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and with us and looking, and good luck to you.
Yeah, no, I listen, I'm doing this because I really believe that I can dedicate the time to it as a stay-at-home father. I understand what all the parents are going through raising their kids. I'm a dividend. I'm a substitute teacher, and Perfect. I've also wanted to make sure I bring that passion to the school board so I can represent the parents and the students for all the county.
Perfect. So guys, you heard. Thank you so much. We'll see you. We love you. Share and care for our community. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail.